Finally, we have a horror movie based on one universal truth. Something that was accepted by everyone. Man, woman, elderly, blind, between the mid to late 2000s. OMG, Jensen Ackles is so hot. I have no evidence that the 2009 remake to My Bloody Valentine was made entirely to capitalize on the popularity of Supernatural, but I have no evidence to the contrary, so I'm going with it. Last time, I talked about the 1981 original movie, and I did intend to jump right back into my Nightmare on Elm Street reviews after that, but this movie distracted me. It's just so interesting. Full disclosure, I have a hard time talking about this movie without comparing it to the original, and perhaps you'll see why in a little bit. So as much as I wish that I could just do a straightforward movie review, this is going to double as a remake comparison. So without further ado, although you might have thought you left Valentine's Day behind, allow me to drag you back into the land of heart-shaped candy boxes and icky romance. Kicking and screaming. So the movie opens up on newspapers reporting on the mine explosion that trapped several men. The only survivor was comatose Harry Warden, who killed the other men to conserve oxygen. No cannibalism. Look, I know it's just a small change, but the small things matter. And cannibalism added just the right amount of grossness, while adding to the myth factor of Harry Warden. How many of us have heard stories of forced cannibalism and been fascinated by the horror of it? Taking that out of the movie is just sad. Anyway, 1 year after the explosion, Harry Warden wakes up and immediately starts killing people. No rhyme or reason. He's not targeting the people responsible for the explosion this time. He just starts swinging. At some point, he winds up back at the mine, where Tom, the mine owner's son, played by Jensen Ackles, is throwing a Valentine's Day party, along with his girlfriend Sarah and his friend Axel. A few miscellaneous characters die, everyone gets traumatized, and then the cops show up, shoot Warden, and he runs away. Cut to 10 years later. Despite the obvious name change, Tom is supposed to be TJ here. He's the one that left town and is now returning to deal with his father's funeral and settle affairs with that mine he suddenly owns. And when he returns, he discovers that Sarah is now married to Axel. And we, the audience, discover that Axel is a cheating douchebag, fucking his wife's co-worker. And therein lies one of my biggest problems with this movie: the lack of likable characters. Axel is cheating on his wife. Sarah is just as wishy-washy and bland as she was in the last movie. Although, kudos to add in the whole marriage aspect, because that does explain a little better why she isn't willing to make a decision. And Tom, well, we'll get to Tom. So anyway, shortly after Tom reaches Valentine Bluff... Wait, it's not called Valentine Bluff anymore? Well then how are the people gonna know it's a Valentine's Day movie if the town isn't named after it? Anyway, shortly after Tom reaches Harmony, very cute guys, people start dying, starting with this one woman who runs around full frontal nude for several minutes. Axel, of course, blames Tom, but Tom knows that the real culprit is Harry Warden, back from the... Spoiler alert, it's not Harry Warden. And it isn't Axel either. I guess that this movie just thought that doing the same twist as the original was too obvious. Anyway, the most obvious character that it so obviously is Tom. him. And why is he doing this? Because the trauma of being attacked when he was 18 was so bad that it caused him to develop a split personality. One of those personalities being Harry Warden himself. Great understanding of mental health, you guys. That is exactly how that works. So in the end, we're forced to watch our protagonists, a wet mop and a cheating douchebag, try to kill the closest thing to a likable character this movie had. 'Cause I mean, come on. At least Jensen Ackles is charismatic. Okay, so the plot is kind of weak. The plot was kind of weak in the original movie, too. How's the gore? The gore is, well, definitely there. It's gratuitous. It's brutal. The only real problem is, I've seen it before. This movie borrows the death scenes from the original so often that most of the time I'm just sitting there like, ooh, she got burned to death in a washing machine. Where have I seen that before? This movie is in 3D. That's, something. For the record, the 3D in this movie is better than in something like Friday the 13th 3D, but not by much. Ooh, is that pickaxe coming right for me? Oh no, it's just a trick. Could have fooled me. There is something sort of endearing about this movie in all of its badness, and perhaps that's because it shares the sensibility of an 80s slasher movie. It really just wants to shock you with how gory the gore is, and how naked the women are, and there is something sort of cute about that. But all in all, if you're looking for a romantic movie to cuddle with your honey to, I'd suggest going back to the first one. But before you do, make sure to subscribe to this channel and click that little bell thingy to get notified. Next time, we're gonna... okay, fine. Dream Child is next, I promise. Even though I've been saying that for 3 videos now? I'm sorry, I really can't deal with movies about pregnancy and babies. Ugh. I would much rather watch a naked woman get butchered by a minor. Thank you. Ease my pain by liking this video and heading down to the comment section. Let me know what your favorite horror remake is. Thank you so much for watching, my pets. Love you.